Well, to tell us what companies NAB traders are liking this week, Gemma Dale joins us once again in the studio. Gemma, welcome back to ausbiz.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Very good, thank you. What has caught your eye this week? What's interesting?
So the most fascinating part is that our more seasoned investors are really pulled to the sidelines. Volumes are right down. This is a very subdued trading period for investors who would be normally leaping all over opportunities. But there are plenty of others who are coming in and they are trading, as you say, the buy now, pay later space so actively. The enthusiasm is quite extraordinary. So we're seeing this really active trading in some areas and then other investors sitting on the sidelines. The strongest indicator is cash. So we have a trading account for cash and people will hold their money there when they're intending to get in and out of the market quite quickly, and then a high interest account. The high interest account, it's real time transfer anyway, so it's, you know, you keep it there whether you're intending to hold it for a long time or a little while. Our cash books, both of them are now at record highs.
Wow.
So even though people have been putting money to work really aggressively over the last 4 months, of a huge amount of buying, starting as the market fell away in February, right the way through sort of the downturn and then back up again. So they've put huge amounts of money to work. They haven't certainly sold everything that they bought. There's still cash coming in and it's sitting there waiting for more exciting stuff to come along.
Gemma, when you were on the show last week, you were talking about the strong bear hedge fund. Now, what's been happening there? Because that seems to be a bit of a contrarian play. You know, market is still sitting near multi-month highs, but people were buying that fund last week. Has that continued into this week?
Yeah, it has absolutely. So it actually topped the number of buys over the last week twice. That's quite significant. So one day it was quite at the margin. It was slightly more bought than sold, but it was not significant. Yesterday, on the flip side, 88% buy for that. So yesterday, clearly a lot of our investors were going, I need a bit of protection in this market, and that's where they were going for it.
And is that your more sophisticated investors, or is that more of the retail crowd?
It seems to be a bit of both. The trade sizes are quite large, so it's not sort of $5,000 increments, it's $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 increments on average. So we see a lot of our larger investors taking big positions there, but some smaller as well. So you see it quite across the spectrum. A lot of people have taken to that particular product and see it as a way of really giving themselves a bit of safety.
Gemma, it's been a bumpy old week for the financial sector. What have you seen in terms of your clients trading?
So the most significant thing we've seen is people pulling out of the sector. NAB is always our most popular stock at an aggregate level over time. People love NAB. It's obviously associated with the brand very closely. So you're a trader, but you also like the brand and like the company. What has been hilarious this week was they were buying NAB at $17 and selling it at $18. So just happy to take a little bit of a trim there. That was
pennies in front of the train.
That was fine. But the other big banks, they have not been buying at all. So yesterday, where it was just all small stuff, the number of very small trades in names that we've very rarely heard, if at all, was astonishing. CBA, Westpac and ANZ, none of them made the top 20 stocks in trades yesterday, which is quite unheard of, frankly.
Tell me about Fortescue Metals. Now, yesterday I think it had a huge game. It's a bit weaker today. A lot of people are using obviously a proxy what's going on with the iron ore price. We saw iron ore futures in China when it hit record highs earlier this week. They're off a little bit today. What have the NAB clients been doing when it comes to Fortescue Metals?
So Fortescue is one of our two really high, we probably have three really high conviction stocks that are not widely held. So CSL, Macquarie and Fortescue are the three that people hold and love or don't hold at all, and most of the book doesn't hold them. We have seen very heavy trading in Fortescue from a very small group of investors. So the average trade size is like $140,000. That's not insignificant. We don't see that very often with anything apart from CSL. And there was selling yesterday, just taking some profit, frankly, in this environment. Nice to get a bit off the table. But from people who really love that stock, so we'll see them come back in pretty soon. We see them move back in pretty frequently.
Gemma, it sounds as though risk appetite is weakening overall with higher cash balances, more buying of the bear hedge fund. How is people's appetite for heading overseas at the moment? Are they still interested in international stocks or just keeping a bit closer to home?
Yeah, so international's really, it's quite lovely to watch. Our international book is actually higher now than it was back in February. So part of that has been aggressive buying, but a very large chunk of it has actually been prices just coming back so strongly. And because it's the tech names that have come back, and it is the tech names that our investors buy, they very rarely buy anything else when they go offshore, then they they've done really well out of this, and when the dollar strengthened again after sort of coming off really quickly, they've all done quite nicely out of it. They have been buying exactly what you would expect them to buy. So Tesla's always top of the list, always, they love it. But they've also been sort of trimming as they can there. We've seen Microsoft, we've seen Nvidia, we've seen Apple, all of those, but there has been some profit taking. A lot of them are seeing now as an opportunity to just kind of take a bit of cash off the table.
What about my favourite truck manufacturer that hasn't yet to go and produce a truck, Nikola? How's that going quickly?
It's in there all the time. They love it. It's this extraordinary name. So I think a lot of our investors see it as the next Tesla. They're really keen to get in there and just have a piece of it. They're very small trade sizes, very small, but they like to hold it.
So it's a brilliant brand name, certainly.
Little bit of a punt there, obviously. I saw the founder went and tweeted a video of the truck, and then the next day the share price went up 35%. So kind of world we're living in at the moment.
Yeah.
Gemma Dale from nabtrade, always wonderful to go and chat. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hope to go and do it all again this week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Gemma.